tried to stop, but it was too late. The water started filling up my car pretty fast.
A North Texas driver says she never saw it coming. A major highway washed out. Why North Texas roads flood so quickly when it rains and why it keeps happening.
More rounds of rain and thunderstorms, some risk of severe weather too. We'll have all of the timeline and amounts coming up.
And a look at rush hour traffic and a major project underway that might impact your commute. But we begin with the political shakeup happening in D.C. President Trump has fired Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem and wants U.S. Senator Markwayne Mullin from Oklahoma to replace her. The president made the announcement on Truth Social. Here's Michael Yoshida.
President Donald Trump has fired Kristi Noem as Homeland Security Secretary. Her ouster follows several days of tense questioning on Capitol Hill and growing frustrations among GOP lawmakers, White House officials, and most importantly, the president. Noem had faced scrutiny over her conduct in the position, including her alleged romantic relationship with her chief advisor, distribution of funds the department had received, and her conflicting accounts over fatal incidents involving federal immigration agents in Minneapolis. Trump himself was angry with how hearings on Capitol Hill went this week, particularly her assertion, which he denies, that the president was aware of an expensive DHS ad campaign that featured her. The president had indicated in conversations with some Republican lawmakers that he was open to replacing her, and Thursday afternoon he made it official, posting on social media, writing in part, "I am pleased to announce that the highly respected United States Senator from the great state of Oklahoma, Markwayne Mullin, will become the United States Secretary of Homeland Security, effective March 31st, 2026. The current Secretary, Kristi Noem, who has served us well and has had numerous and spectacular results, especially on the border, will be moving to be Special Envoy for the Shield of the Americas, our new security initiative in the Western Hemisphere."
It came at not a complete surprise, but it came at a little bit of surprise for us. And so the president and I, as you guys know, we're great friends, and we get along great. I look forward to working with him and his cabinet. Of course, we still got to go through this little thing called confirmation.
And Kristi Noem is the first member of the president's second-term cabinet to be fired. In Washington, I'm Michael Yoshida.
And the other big story, we are seeing the impact of storms across North Texas, like roads washed out from flash flooding in Garland. We've learned those storms brought down the roof of a building with people still inside. And that's where we find our Richard Solomon, who's been on the ground speaking with crews about what happened last night and what happens next.
You're looking at the old sheet metal building here in Garland. Fire crews say the storms that we had last night likely what caused it to collapse. Now the question is today, is it salvageable?
Obviously lost the roof as well as some of the support beams inside. Water damage.
Kyle Latham knows how powerful Mother Nature can be, and on Thursday her force brought him here to West Kingsley Road in Garland.
We'll be looking at this from a rebuild, construction, water containment.
Latham works with Mooring, a disaster restoration and commercial construction company, now assessing what's left of this sheet metal building. Wednesday evening, spring storms rolled through North Texas. Safety crews say the collapse wasn't caused by wind, but by rainwater weight that built up on the roof.
There is some damage inside, damage to the structure, the office building. A lot of the sprinklers went off.
But for crews surveying the wreckage, the biggest question is simple. Can it be saved?
Absolutely. It's salvageable.
And this is Texas. This is getting the springtime of year. Weather changes in a minute.
James Duggar with the Garland Fire Department says 7 people were inside. They heard the roof start to buckle and got out just in time. He says to take this as a warning of how powerful storms can be.
So we would always recommend pay attention to your situation.
Have proper emergency contingency plans with all the spring weather we're about to have.
With another round of storms expected Friday night, crews will keep a close eye on what's left of this structure and on whatever else Mother Nature decides to bring next. In Garland, I'm Richard Solomon.
Yeah, and those storms caused major problems, not just for businesses, but also for drivers. Look at that. US 80 just outside Sunnyvale was covered in high water, and as many as 3 cars had to be fished out of that water. It looked like a pond there. We spoke with a hydrologist and professor at the University of North Texas about why this happens so often here in North Texas.
That's why when you got a heavy rainfall and water flow to a low elevation, and also if you don't have a drain away, water cannot drain away, so that's why I stay here at that location. Yeah.
Professor Pan also pointed to rapid growth in North Texas as another issue that can contribute to major flooding. Well, the rain cleared out today, but not for long. Jesse's here to talk about another weather alert day tomorrow and Saturday.
And Saturday, yes. So we have more heavy rain potential. We have severe weather potential Friday, especially in the afternoon and evening.
Okay.
A lot to talk about.
So plan B if you have any plans.
Yeah, Saturday morning, especially if you have plans. Now, Friday afternoon, I want you to stay alert. Here's our WFAA weather alert that's in effect. Again, Friday and Saturday, we'll have on and off heavy rain. Now, I think the coverage tomorrow is on the lower side. It is certainly not as widespread as it was today. We will have some thunderstorms. Could see some quarter-size hail in the strongest storms. Some isolated higher hailstone sizes could be seen tomorrow afternoon. 50+ mile-per-hour wind gust. Those are expected. Stay updated on the forecast. Make sure you adjust any outdoor plans you have, especially Saturday morning. That's when our most widespread chance of rain moves in. And download WFAA Plus to your TV. Just mostly cloudy skies in North Texas at this hour. We've had a couple of sprinkles. That's really it. And that's really all I expect for the rest of tonight. What you're looking at here in the western sections of North Texas will be a dying complex of showers and thunderstorms that have popped up out in the Panhandle in West Texas. This will skim our northwestern counties of Wise, Young, Montague, and Jack County later tonight for just about an hour. A little bit of rain is possible. Most of North Texas is dry tonight. But tomorrow afternoon, especially after 3 p.m., we'll try to bubble up a couple of thunderstorms. And if those can get going, those could be some large hail producers. Can't rule out some gusty winds with those as well, and a low tornado risk. We'll be talking about this slight risk for severe weather across North Texas in detail with the timeline and, of course, your Saturday morning timeline. That's all coming up.
All right, Jesse, thank you. Make sure you have WFAA Plus downloaded to your TV. Our weather team is constantly updating the forecast there, and you can watch live 24-hour radar. Plus is free to download to your TV. In our Boomtown series, we head live to Argyle, where the city is set to hold a grand opening for a new Tom Thumb. Look at all of those shoppers in there. This new grocery store is the centerpiece of Harvest Town Center, a bustling retail area. It's also going to be cemented near two massive residential communities that are planned for the area. City leaders say the grocery store will give residents a lot more options. However, not everyone is on board because of the traffic the developments will bring.
You kind of have to switch up your route. You think you're going to take a left somewhere, kind of get stuck there for a couple minutes.
Tonight at 6, the stark reaction from residents and what else is planned for that area. Well, more growth across North Texas also means more headaches for drivers. Let's get to Stacia Wilson for a look at traffic.
Yeah, it's hard to escape traffic here in North Texas, especially during rush hour. Seeing a lot of traffic on the southbound lanes of I-45 just south of downtown Dallas. You can see it's nice and dry at least now, though. Also watching a backup. This is along I-30 eastbound at Galloway, so close to the I-30-635 intersection right around the Mesquite area. You do have an accident there that is slowing things down in those eastbound lanes. Looks like just 2 lanes are currently open. Really, that's the biggest issue we're seeing across the Metroplex as far as any type of traffic as a result of an incident. We do have one problem in Tarrant County. I'm going to show you that in a second. But heading on over to some emergency construction work that's happening in Kaufman County. I want to let you know they currently still have 1-lane block spur 557 eastbound at US 80. Started working on that after all of the rain came down and caused all those problems on 80 overnight into this morning. All right, let's take a look at that stalled 18-wheeler. That is still there. This is along 360 northbound, just south of the 183 intersection. 1 lane is blocked. Traffic doesn't look too bad, though, as far as having to go around it. Hey, wherever you're headed, as always, just be safe. We're going to let you know about anything that could get in your way. Izzy?
All right, Stacia, thank you. And as the war in Iran widens, some Texans feel stranded overseas. The State Department has urged U.S. citizens to depart now from countries throughout the Middle East. But one couple from Central Texas says they're stuck in Dubai with virtually no options.
Airports are still closed. We don't know when they're going to open. They're still trying to get people out from a week ago before us.
With limited flights posing challenges, the Trump administration says they're working on options for charter, military, and expanded commercial flights to get Americans out of the war zone. After 7 years, Dallas will have a new district attorney. What Amber Gibbons says she wants to tackle first as the county's next top prosecutor. President Trump says he will make his endorsement soon in the Texas Senate primary ahead. Which candidate is changing his tune, saying he may be willing to drop out of the race?
a groundbreaking ceremony today for a project along I-30 that is obviously very much already underway as TxDOT and the city of Dallas try to stitch the city back together.